Howdy y'all, hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Today we got push by myself. My buddy doesn't have a spare change of clean clothes, so looks like I'm going by myself because he doesn't got anything to change into after. But that's okay, because who needs friends, am I right? Anyways, as the day of me recording this, 8 days till I'm heading back home. And I've loved the experience here. Once in a lifetime, and it has been phenomenal. But we have done everything we've set out to do. We actually just got back from camping in the Blue Mountains today, and that was pretty much everything on our bucket list. So now it's just kind of like, enjoying the rest of our vacation here. However, I will say I am ready to go home. I'm ready to see my girlfriend after not seeing her for 4.5 months. It's been a little tough, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we've been dating for 4 years and a little over 2 months, and we had our 4-year anniversary while I've been here, so. But anyways, I'm excited to go back to see her, to see my family, to see my other friends, and yeah. But anyways, back on topic, I know I mentioned in the last push day that I may be looking to do some like less volume workout, based off of Jeff Nippard's like study on lowering the volume for like a cut. And it's like, it's so hard to decide because I love my workouts. Sorry, I'm moving a lot. I love my workouts, and I really I just enjoy doing it. And as much as I want to, I preach discipline and I preach motivation and whatever, but I also want to do what I want to do, because I also preach that, always do what you want to do, bottom line, no matter what anyone says, don't listen, just do what you want to do, as long as you're being safe, respectful, and not hurting anybody. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I can't guarantee anything. I guess we'll just have to see for the workout part of the video what I end up deciding on. But we are gonna go ahead and get a workout shirt on. What do I want to run? I think last time I ran this blue one. We don't want to do the same thing again. So what do we got here? I haven't worn the white one in a bit. It's not really like a chest focused shirt, I think we're gonna rock the blue one again. I like this one a lot as a chest shirt. So we'll rock this one. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great time here. It's been a lot of fun. Camping this weekend was a lot of fun. Although the trails that were at the campsite weren't as long as we were hoping they would be, so we ended up being a little bored, sorta. And we had brought our football with us, and oh my god, I think we threw football for a total of 3 hours. And that may not sound like a lot, but that is the longest amount of time I have thrown football, I think, in a day in my life. Even playing football, obviously, because I was a safety, I wasn't really throwing the ball or nothing. What am I doing? I do not have this on correctly. I'm probably gonna have deodorant marks on this. No, on the back of it. Anyways, so my arm is sore. My rear delt here is pretty sore, but gonna get a nice stretch, gonna warm up, hopefully be all good to go. But yeah, so besides that, I'm gonna head on over to the gym. Actually, I gotta get my pre-ready and whatever, but leaving him here in about 10 minutes, and I will see y'all at the gym. Alrighty, starting off this push day, the day we've gotten back from our camping, we've got bench press. Now, my buddy did not have any clean clothes. I believe I might have mentioned that in the intro, so I'm out here doing it by myself. And I do believe, honestly, that on my channel, this is the first time I'm starting with less than 2 plates on bench. As much as I hate to do it, it's definitely what's necessary, as with this cut, I definitely need to be going down weight a little bit to make it more consistent. However, I will say with this, I'm an idiot. I thought this was 95 kilos. It was 90. I wanted to start with 95. I'm like, damn, this is moving good. I'm doing 95, and it's moving really well. I'm like, why can't I be doing 2 plates? But it turns out it was actually 90. But regardless of that, still controlled it, still was moving really well, was really happy with how it was moving. Definitely next time back in America, I'll be switching to pounds. but I'll be doing like 215 to start in pounds, because I believe that's about 95 kilos, roughly, somewhat. As you can see, did 90 for, I believe, my first two. Maybe, I think it was for all of them, actually. I didn't see the arrow pop up. I wasn't really paying attention. But I do believe that on that last set, I didn't quite get it for all the reps I wanted, which was kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping to get it for all the reps that I wanted, but that's all right. Moving on, we got incline chest press. As you know, this is like my favorite machine. I believe this is one of the best chest builders out there. Now, I have gone down from like what I used to do maybe a month ago or so, but I haven't gone down too much. I think I was doing about 90 kilos, but now I'm doing about 85. Not a huge drop, but again, I feel a necessary one, as I believe I can get more with this weight. And as you can see, I did it for almost all 3 sets for all the reps. Did fall a bit short on that last rep, but again, that's okay. If I'm failing on the last rep, then I'm happy that I'm getting those first 2 fully done. And on our camping trip, I'll explain it a little more after this part, but let me tell you, my rear delt was super, super sore and tired, and you'll understand why at the end, so make sure you stick around till the end of the video. But I ended up, because of this, I ended up doing a bit less weight on the rear delt flies. I also felt like I should do unilateral, just because I'm doing a little bit less weight, and to kind of focus on moving it as 2, but because it was only my right rear delt that was sore, not my left. And again, that sounds kind of weird now, but just wait till the end of the video. I did move 45 for 10 reps for every set. Probably could have gone up, but again, it was sore, tired. It wasn't worth going up the weight. It probably would have just led to some sort of injury or strain or whatnot. But moving on, we've got some dumbbell lateral raises, and I'm falling a lot more in love with these dumbbell ones. And I think I'm gonna very much so kind of split the reps and sets 50-50 with cable lateral raises now. I love me some cable lateral raises. I still believe they are the best exercise, but I do really like doing these, so I think I'm gonna kind of do my best to split them, because I do my mid delts. What is it? I guess it is only twice a week, right? Shoulders. It's the only part of my shoulder that I train in both of my shoulder days, because one of my shoulder days is mid and rear delts, and the other one is front delts and mid delts. So I think just making sure that in the week I do one of each, it's good. Or if I do a week where I do either dumbbell or cable for both, and then next week just do the opposite or whatever one I didn't do. But also, as you know, I've been loving throwing these overhead skull crushers in. I do think I need to keep my arms a little more even. I do kind of feel like sometimes they're tilting forward or back, depending on whatever one's being a bit more dominant. But overall, pretty good. These are a tricep killer. If you're doing them right, it is shredding the triceps. Like, I love these, and the weight's been moving pretty steady. I could be moving up to 40 kilos here, but again, the next push day is going to be back in America, so it's going to be pounds instead of kilos, getting back to the right unit of measurement, the better one. But finally, to wrap up this push day, got the good old single arm push downs. I believe I started a bit too heavy on these. These, again, they're good, but I do have the inconsistent days, and that's okay. Like, as long as you're in your range, it's good, but like, you shouldn't be going from like, well, I'm gonna do this in pounds, like one day you're moving 10, or 1 week you're moving 10, the next week you're moving, I don't know, 17 and a half, then you're back down to 10. Like, more of like within a 2.5 pound range at most times, I believe. At least personally, that's what I kind of strive towards, because obviously there's some weeks where you're going to be feeling really good, and there's some weeks where you're going to be bad, and then there's going to be like your normal weeks. So that's what I kind of, just that variance. But as long as you're not like jumping around too much too often, I think it's okay. As you can see, I didn't get 12 for all my sets with my left arm, which kind of sucked, but that's why I ended up lowering the weight, doing 11.5 for the rest, or 11.25, not 11.5, excuse me. But last posing, at least for push day here, and went pretty well. I'm happy with the push days that I've had here. It's been an incredible journey here. Being able to tie in my favorite hobby of bodybuilding with traveling the world in Australia, and it's not a lot different. Let's be honest. It's still just going to the gym. It's still working, and I'm still happy with my discipline throughout this vacation. I'm really happy with how much weight I lost. Of course, I still want to lose quite a bit more to eventually be ready to compete in bodybuilding, and I know I'm not quite there yet, and I'm not using this vacation to Australia as like an excuse, but you know, it is a vacation. There are aspects that I can't control, like sometimes food isn't like going to be the best on vacation, and you know, I do want to enjoy myself. I pride myself in my discipline, but you know, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You got to have fun in life sometimes too. You know, it can't be all just discipline. We are literally like, we need fun to be sane and like, you know, experiencing things. So I'm happy with how everything has gone. Nothing was too different. It was just obviously kilograms to pounds, but in terms of plates, it made it really easy because the plates were the same like size. So a 10 kilo plate I knew was 25 pounds because it's the same size as the 25 pounds. And the like putting on 20 kilo plates, I knew it was just 45 pounds because they're the big plates. So it wasn't anything too difficult. Some people get the misconception that it's kind of like a big change. It's really not. It's pretty self-explanatory. Of course, sometimes like with cables or even dumbbells, I was typing into Google like, pounds to kilograms because I didn't know the conversion ratio as well. But I've learned it a little bit better now. So yeah, pretty happy with how it went. It's nice because when I get back, I get to see all my pound, like I get to see everything in pounds, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm moving this much weight, because in kilos it's only like 80, but in pounds it's 165 or whatnot. So excited for that. But yeah, as always, I got cardio for you guys, and I'll see y'all back at the apartment. Alrighty, I don't know if I got the already, but alrighty, we are back at the apartment now. Like I said, I would tell you about my rear delt. So basically, me and my buddy went camping in the Blue Mountains. It was kind of like the last thing on our to-do list. Well, we were here in Australia, and when I recorded this video, we had just gotten back because we went Saturday afternoon. We were camping all Sunday, and then we got back Sunday afternoon. So it was a lot of fun. We took public transport out there, and then we took an Uber to the campsite. The campsite when we got there was actually a lot more packed. Like not a single site was open. We were really shocked at how many people were there actually. Also, my throat's a little dry, so I'm gonna be sipping water. But it basically went down and kind of curved up to the left over a little creek, and then it had like the main area, which had just like almost like a cul-de-sac that you could drive around, and then there was sites kind of around the cul-de-sac. But to the right of the cul-de-sac, there was a path that led up the hill. Now, if you go up that hill, it's just kind of a trail that keeps going deeper into the woods and eventually kind of gets overgrown, and like you can tell how far people go. Well, we go up there, and there's like 3 tents up to the left at the very top of the trail, and it's not like a huge hill, but it's a little steep. And then there's little areas that like they're kind of campsites, but they're not like fully fleshed out. But me and my buddy didn't want to be by people because we were hoping the campsite would be empty just kind of in the first place. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. But we went along the path a little bit more, and we found this spot, and I'll put some pictures up here of just kind of our area where we were camping, just some nice imagery, and I'll probably have already had pictures popping up and whatnot. But we set up there, we made our own firestone pit, and we made a fire. We tried to warm up like some cans of beans and chicken, and it was just okay. Had our food for the first night, went to bed, got up the next day on Sunday, and we explored the path. Didn't go very far. There was a nice rock area. We hung out there for a little bit. We were just talking, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the quietness, honestly. Headed back to camp, had lunch, and then I think we threw football for longer than I ever have in a single day in my life, even when I played football. So we threw for about 3.5 hours or so, because unfortunately, while the trail was nice and it was quiet, and like the scenery was very nice, it was a short trail. So we got about an hour out of it, maybe an hour and a half. So we ended up throwing football a lot with music and just talking and whatever. And eventually I took a nap after a little bit, got up, played more, threw more football. Then around like 4-ish, 5 p.m. we made our fire and started having food and whatever. Well, and then turns out our fire pit wasn't as soundproof as whatever, as under one of the rocks started to smoke as there was grass under there. So we put out the fire, we made sure it was fully out. We were very careful about fire the entire time. Obviously we didn't want to do anything wrong. We poured a bunch of water on it. It was put out perfectly, and there was nothing got out of our ring. We made a very good ring besides that one little detail, but we caught it, we put it out, and we did not light it again. And then basically we waited until the stars came out, because the main reason we wanted to be out there was the stars, because it was a lot less light pollution, just a lot less any pollution. And we got to see the stars, beautiful, super bright, super clear. It was awesome. We then laid in the tent. Well, actually, we laid in the tent for a bit first, was listening to Wendigoon and Meat Canyon talk about Mother Horse Eyes, which was great when it was dark out in the woods. So we ended up switching it. Well, after that, we paused it. We went out and looked at the stars, brushed our teeth, got ready for bed, went back in, and then we laid there for about another hour and a half listening to the Misfits podcast Poland story to kind of take our minds off the Mother Horse Eyes, because as much as we're not like scared of horror, you know, when you're in the middle of the woods and that's what you're listening to for the past hour, it's a little eerie. So went to bed, got up the next morning, got an Uber to town, took train back, came back here, showered, and got food, went to the gym, and now you're getting this video. So yeah, that was like kind of our last thing on the list. So now we're pretty much just enjoying the beach and hanging out here until we head on back. So as always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.